So I woke up this morning, I checked my phone, and the first notification I see is that patch notes are here. Patch notes are here at 4 a.m. this morning. These devs are working at ungodly hours to fix this game for us. And let me tell you guys, these patch notes are absolutely game shattering. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the one that you guys all want to hear about, and that is the Hudson hotfix patch note. Hudson has been one of the top hunters on the list of most frustrating to deal with since open beta started, which is totally understandable since everyone's new to the game. It might not be as easy to know what to do to counter him. But on top of this, they pretty much just said Hudson should be strong if you dive into his position, but not when he's diving into yours, which I could absolutely agree with. I thought he had way too much mobility, and that was the main reason why people were struggling with him. So as a result, they made it so that his dash only has one charge instead of two, and that the cooldown is reduced so that, he gets it a little bit faster, but he only has one. So overall, he's not going to be nearly as fast, which, thank God we are here. I don't know why he ever had as much mobility as he did, but he did. But on top of that, we're actually nerfing other things too. The base range is reduced even more, which actually I think this was already in the game. Maybe I'm wrong. The range on the spin barrels is going down. So overall, maybe he isn't going to be able to outrange a strike. We'll see. I'll do some testing whenever this patch is actually here. And then the base damage is reduced. Oh man, guys, this is a really big nerf for Hudson. On top of barbed wire, activation time increased, and activation range decreased. This is a nerf across the board for Hudson. I don't want to say that this character is killed, but what I will say is that he is definitely not S tier anymore. I could see him being good in scrims still with Oath, but I don't know if there are any Oath nerfs on the way. But overall, Hudson and solo queue, everyone that solo queued Hudson to Masters, it might be time to learn a new hunter because, wow, this character just got quite the big nerf. Now, moving on, one that I think is actually more important is this Brall nerf. Going forward, in the future for a second, say Wednesday, where we ship a Brawl buff saying he's underperforming across all MMRs, okay, which was true. Future us got a lot of feedback that regardless of math, Brawl is feeling oppressive to play against. So Future us came back to warn, okay. So pretty much they're just saying that they had a plan, but then they're actually going to make a different, little bit of a different change here. Future saved, as a high mastery hunter, we hear that he should be harder to play. Yeah, I could agree with that. The game has also been out for a week, and I think there's just other problems that would need to be addressed for that, but I digress. Looks like they're just fixing some bugs where I don't even know. I don't play a lot of Brawl. They fixed a lot of bugs around the character, but the main thing comes from his ultimate. The cooldown reduction on Wisp execution damage from 100% to 25%. So now, no longer will Brawl just execute Wisps to get his empowered. Actually, he actually still might do it. It might still be worth it to do a face this on a Wisp so you're full empowered. So maybe this is still going to happen, but at least he's not going to have multiple face thises that, like, maybe he'll have somewhat of a window. But knocking an enemy hunter instantly sends him to Deathbox, still full resets the... Wait, knocking an enemy hunter to instantly send them to Deathbox still fully resets Volcanic Rebuke's cooldown. I didn't know if it did that. I guess it does do that with the face test. So his ultimate will still reset if you kill someone with it, but not if you kill their Wisp with it. So, Brawl is still going to be pretty darn insane at higher elos, but I think the whole idea is that Brawl is struggling for new players, so they want to still make the character approachable. So I think Brawl is still really good. You're still going to see Lemur running this and probably just absolutely demolishing ranked games. He'll have to think a little bit more about his ultimate, but the character is still feeling pretty darn good. The other thing, though, that's actually a pretty big nerf is the Volcanic Rebuke launching bug with the chain jump. You can no longer just like jump after it to keep yourself alive. So, these bug fixes are inherently nerfs as well, but I think they could have done a little bit more to Brawl. At the same time, though, if players are struggling to get the character down, it should not be balanced towards the 1%. I'm going to be honest. I really like these Hudson changes. I think it'll make the game a lot more enjoyable for a lot of players. But that's all of the character changes. I think a lot of these patch notes are very heavily looked upon for the lower ranks and like people that are new to the game, and that's just how it should be. I'm surprised there's no Oath or Zeph like tweaks or changes, but at the end of the day, if those characters are performing fine at lower elos, so be it. Let it go. I think the main thing that you would need for those characters, for Oath and Zeph, is just adding more supports, realistically. And that's probably what would make those characters feel a little bit more balanced. But this is what I really wanted to talk about. It's the equipment and the powers changes, because these are quite big. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a pretty big deal, especially for both of these Tech Blade evolutions, Amplifier and Power User. These are things that I've been talking about on stream for months. And to know that the devs are listening and are just immediately addressing all of the problems I have with this stuff, it's a good sign. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very good sign. So starting off with Amplifier, we're aiming to preserve unique builds that Amplifier provides while limiting some of the extreme edge cases, oftentimes due to bugs. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. What is the change here? Abilities with multiple versions, like Kingpin's Dash, will only benefit from Amplifier's cooldown reduction from the version being used. For example, using Kingpin's aerial dash will only reduce the cooldown of his aerial dash, not his regular dash. You still keep the stack count though. Okay. Cooldown reduction benefit is calculated before increasing the stack count, meaning there's no benefit until you use the ability at least once. That is probably the largest change out of this. I mean, the Kingpin nerf, that's definitely very good, where you're not just gonna be able to space glide everywhere. But the fact that you do not get the flat 5% is like a really good change. A lot of the reason why I was using Amplifier is that it's just a 5% change, or a 5% cooldown reduction on top of the Tech Blade reduction across the board. So I would just use that passively. But now, like, you actually have to think about, oh, I'm using this specifically for this build. I could still see myself using it for nade builds in the end game. That being said, though, I feel like I don't like having that restriction on Zeph, but we'll see. Power user is always an option, but what did they do to change power user? Because they could have made it a lot worse. On the topic of exotics, we like that power user is an option for power loving players to practice with and preserve their powers, but we believe exotics should remain as high risk, high reward items. Does not soulbound exotic powers anymore. So like, this is a step in the right direction. That being said, I really don't like the idea that it's soulbound. It soul binds at all. I really don't like that, because here's the thing. Powers are still good if they're purple. If I see an anti-Moby field and a hover wings on someone that I think I can kill, I go out of my way to chase them. They die. And then, oh wait, it was soulbound powers. I'm going to crash out, man. I'm going to crash out. I'm still going to crash out. Now, the thing is, this is a step in the right direction. If I see someone with rewind and I want to go kill that guy because he has rewind, I now know for a fact that even if he has a power user, I'm going to get that rewind from the guy. So this is a step in the right direction. Maybe once players get better, we'll finally see maybe purple powers will also not be soulbound anymore. I doubt that. But I mean, this is still a good step for this patch. The main thing is that I probably will just use power user every game over Amplifier now, if I'm a Zeph player. But there'll be more content specifically about that, especially on streams as well, when we get there. But now let's talk about powers. These are two very, very hot topic powers here. Let's see what they did to it. For Mana Cloak, we've heard that the stealth is problematic in its current state, and we agree, especially in the ways that stealth enemies are signaled to you, and in how difficult it is to track or counter stealth hunters. While we anticipate more changes to the mechanic itself, we're hitting a current outlier that is causing significant frustration, increasing the mana cost from 10 a second to 30 a second. That's pretty substantial. I don't think this is going to change anything though. I still think if you have a delicate mana battery, that combo is still just going to give you infinite stealth. I think that when you notice that there's a team nearby, when you hit a UAV, you're just going to wait now to hit the Mana Cloak, and then you're just gonna hit it anyways. It's still gonna let you have that jump on people. That being said, I don't care about the numbers in this one. I care about the fact that they understand that this mechanic is game breaking. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I love that the devs are taking a step in the right direction. This is it's not out of touch like it was with other devs in my past. This is all very good stuff. But now the last thing that is on this minor patch, but realistically this is the most major patch I think the game has had so far, is Power Shuffler. Exotics are too prevalent in the game and it's too easy to come by. We'll be taking a holistic approach to deal with this, but are disabling Power Shuffler in the interim to prevent extreme outliers. Power Shuffler is now disabled in Supervive. This right here is such crazy news. We'll see if this power ever even comes back. They say they might bring it back. I seriously doubt it. This power was just absolutely insane. It was not okay. There was a show match where we got 5 rewinds in the course of a game because we got power user so early. So I'm very happy that this got looked at and just take it out of the game. We'll deal with it when we get there, but you don't gotta worry about it anymore. So this is actually gonna make maybe luxury goods not nearly as annoying. It still will be annoying, but now that Power Shuffler isn't here, I'm very happy about this. So all in all, I think these patch notes are actually really good. I know it's not very extensive, and I'm probably gonna expect the patch on Wednesday anyways. I mean, they alluded to it. So we'll probably be covering that as well. But in terms of this Sunday patch, this is not very bad. The only thing I have is, wow, we're posting this at 4 a.m. Like, holy moly, we are working hard. But yeah, I mean, this is a really good look for the dev team. If you were struggling to really support this dev team and weren't really sure about the direction of this game and where it's going, they're very, very well grounded, I should say. And they know what we like, they know what we don't like, and they're very on top of things and changing things. So I'm very happy about this across the board for all MMRs. This is a very good step in the right direction. So let me know what you guys all think about this patch down below. Sorry that we got this out a little late. I was sleeping. I did not realize that this was going to come out at 4 a.m., but we did end up getting this out before 24 hours. So appreciate you guys all for watching this much, for watching this far. Thank you for watching this far. But until next time, I've got to peace out and Paz out. I'll see you in the next one.